G'day everyone, welcome back to another vlog. This one's going to be a little bit different format wise. I'm going to take you along an adventure on all the steps I do in processing an image or getting an image, coming out in the field, taking the image, going home into Lightroom, processing that image and then printing it out and almost bringing my image to life by printing it out in the full circle in this vlog, from composition or the image I'm going to shoot, processing it, printing it. So first of all, coming out, I always look at my conditions. Perfect conditions here. Got a rainy day, rainy cold day. Maybe not perfect, it's a little bit windy, but we're going to deal with that through using probably a faster shutter speed. But yeah, so I've got some rain cloud coming in, which is turning into this mist and fog rolling up over this sort of ridge here behind me and then down into this valley, which is perfect for the conditions I want, the composition I want to shoot. Woodland is always beautiful in rain and fog. The rain brings the bark and the trunks alive, and of course that fog sort of gets rid of all that clutter and chaos within the woodland scene itself. So not bad conditions. A little bit windy, but like I said, we'll deal with that. So my thought process of shooting a tree, I've actually been along this track before and I saw this interesting tree, this gum tree, young gum tree. I believe it's young compared to the other ones around it. It's got this unique shape to it, I guess you could say, in the trunk. That's what I always kind of look for in woodland, in a single tree anyway. If you want to get a tree, pinpoint a tree, look for one that's unique in its shape and its the way it's growing, I guess, and the trunk itself is all twisted and going in different directions. It's exactly what I've got here. I'm gonna have to wipe the front of my vlogging lens here from time to time. Might start getting a bit blurry because it is raining, so I'm going to do that now and then I'll take you through this image. The little tree, the young gum tree behind me here, and he's in this bracken and he's all gnarly trunk system, which is what I always look for when singling out or shooting a single tree. A group of trees and threes doesn't necessarily have to have that gnarliness, but I find if you want to focus on just one tree, it's always good to have a bit of character within the subject itself or the tree. So that's why this one jumped out at me, and it's really helping with this this low atmospheric cloud. So like I said, a bit of wind, and I'm just playing around, like moving a foot to the left, foot to the right. Might even go down the track a bit and try and shoot it back up this way, but for now I'm gonna play with this. Bit windy in here, keep mentioning that. So I'm gonna do a aperture at f5 and I'm gonna focus bang on the middle of the tree itself, and then behind it, doesn't matter if it's slightly soft or out of focus because I've got the cloud in here to help with that. And I'm going to use a faster shutter speed, 1/60th of a second, and I'm at ISO 200. So I've had to bring the ISO up to compensate for that faster shutter speed. And then what I might do, just to, I say it to cover your bases, is I might do like an F9 or F10 so everything's pinpoint sharp, foreground and that tree, doesn't matter about the background, and change the shutter speed again to be faster in this breeze. So I'm going to take this shot, and within the composition itself, on my third line I've got to the left of the screen, I've got the tree itself, a little bit of open space to the right, but it is filled in with some trees in the background there, so should be alright composition wise. I'll take this image and then I'll do one at f10, we'll say. Might have to bump my ISO up to 400, maybe a bit more, Rain's coming in now, so I want to be quick. ISO 500. Looks good. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this quickly. Wipe the front of my both lenses at the same time while vlogging. I'm pretty happy with the image. So all I have to do normally is, what I do is I'll push play, bring up the image, and then I'll zoom in and pan across the whole image within the back of the live view screen, and make sure it's all sharp, nothing in the frame I don't like, make sure nothing was blurry in the foreground within the wind. If I'm happy with that, I'll pack up and then we'll go back to a nice warm house, and I'll sit down and I'll edit the image, and just bear in mind that art is selective, landscape photography, and even the editing side of things. So this is how I edit. So yeah, if you're interested in my thought process on editing, and then we'll print it, come along, go back home, get a nice hot coffee, and get into Lightroom. Let's go. So here we are, back at home, nice and dry. Brought the images into Lightroom. I've already edited this image, simply because I'm not going to have the time in this tutorial to slowly go through everything and get it perfect for printing. So I'm going to quickly go through how I edit, and yeah, again, I just don't have the time to do it in this video, but let's get into it. And edit as best as I can, edit this. Yet at the same time, I'm going to go a little bit quickly. Obviously, through the power of YouTube, you can go back and forth and pause if you want to see what I'm doing. But yeah, time is not our friend here. I don't want it to drag on too much, so I'm going to do a quick edit of how I remember I did it, hopefully. And I always start with global and then do some locals. Excuse me. So first of all, I'm going to crop it. I don't like this this side here, this tree out the side, these branches, and then over here, I'm not sure if you can see on the right hand side of the frame, there is a branch there too, or a trunk, sorry. I might incorporate that tree, bring it in, and make sure I have this tree in the background, get rid of a little bit of that foreground, and something like that. So I'm going to warm the image up a little bit, not too much. I'm going to increase the exposure quite a bit. As you can look at the histogram, it's quite flat and underexposed. So using the again 35 will do for now. Then I'll drop the highlights slightly, as you can see up in the sky here, and some whites too. Bump the shadows a little bit. Blacks I won't play with. That increases or decreases contrast. I'll do that another way. Clarity and texture I won't touch. Maybe drop the clarity a little bit. And dehaze I'll bring up something along those lines. Vibrance, you know, maybe a little bit there. So down in the tone curve, I'll drop the darks to give it that contrast punch, and then try not to clip the edge. Plus 16, sorry, plus 14, and minus 9. So the colours here, I'm not too fussed. If it's too green in woodland, I'll drop the greens. But this image is quite fine at the moment. It's kind of a wintry, sort of a bland flat colour there. So my shadows I like, because it's winter and it's a cold image, I'm going to go my shadows blue. You can go extreme and then pull it back to where you think you like it, about there maybe. And then my highlights are, obviously I've got some light trying to break through. I'm going to give it a little bit of warm light there. What do you reckon? Something like that. Again, doing this quite quickly, sharpening amount I won't touch. anything like that. You can also add some more contrast in here. Pops the colours. Blue primary. Bring up, if I show you extreme, you can see that at the extreme scale, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring it back to about 35. Yeah, it's getting there. A little bit more exposure, I think. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some local sort of burns, or dodge and burning. I'm going to create light hitting this tree just to emphasize it, make it pop. So yeah, drag this out like so, bring it over here. I want the light sort of coming this way through the image, or to make it look like it's coming this way. I'll reset that, it was underexposed before. Just give it a bit more, I know, so it draws your eye to that tree, kind of makes it stand out a bit better. Bring it in, you know, something like that. And then I think I even got a brush and sort of darken the foreground here, just to give it a bit more depth if there's some shadows in there. So what are we going, minus 17, maybe minus 23. Sort of a vignette through the bottom of the frame, maybe up through here. I don't know, just quickly, yeah, maybe a vignette through it. Plenty of different ways to do this, 1,000 ways to skin a cat, so this is how I do it. Quick, sort of, just put that little vignette around this edge, and that radial is lightened up the center, giving you focus on this main subject. And now what I'll do is I just want to make sure that, you know, I don't need to do anything to it. See a bit of wind in the background there, I didn't notice that before. A bit blurry, those leaves, from it's quite a windy day, as you saw. I should have used a faster shutter speed. I think I said that in the video. Rookie. And there too you can see the wind, but it's not too bad. The main subject here is nice and sharp. This tree, I really like it. Yeah, so then I go to File. My plugins is my Canon Professional layout, so I'll send it to that, and that way I know how it's going to look on paper. The image now is in the software, the Canon printing software, and all this software is pretty much a soft proof. You can see what it looks like, but more importantly you choose your paper size, how you want it to look, borderless, and also very important, you can put in your profile, your ICC profile. So I usually use Canson paper. I don't have any rag. I wanted to actually print this out on cotton rag, A4, to keep it quite small, and just, you know, sort of a pre-test, but I don't have any Canson, so I'm going to print this out on A3 to make it a bit bigger, and I'm going to actually use a Ilford. Those of you who used to shoot film will know the name Ilford. They make amazing paper as well, as good as Canson, I reckon, and it's a smooth pearl. So when you buy printing paper, this is A3, you go to the website Ilford profiles, and you download the profile for this smooth pearl 310. 310 is the thickness of the paper, and it'll give you a profile, and then that'll automatically be in my software once I've downloaded the profile for this particular paper. So yeah, I'm gonna print this off on A3, smooth pearl. Again, I think this image would look a lot better on rag, but see what it looks like on this. Give it a go. So I've got the final image here. I'll just quickly show you. Great thing about this is printing with borders is you can actually hold it without touching the photo itself. Probably again, I think it'll look better on matte paper, so I'm going to show you this just before I do. It came out a little bit slightly magenta. Not sure why that is. That's why I like to shoot on, do a test print on smaller paper, then I can play around with it. But overall, yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Not too bad at all. Yeah, so that's pretty much the process I do. Thanks for watching. Again, it was a different vlog, and hopefully on the next one I'll be out and about exploring and taking some more photos instead of in the office here. Have a good week, guys, and I'll see you in the next adventure.